Welcome back into Attacking Third. Like I mentioned, we have a challenge here. We have a whole competition going against morning footy, and I'm a part of both teams, and I got to pick which one I was standing with or deciding with. And I picked y'all, okay, because I have my money that we're going to win this. We know more about this World Cup. Thanks. Yes, of course. I believe in us. Let me explain these rules real quick before we get into our picks. So we're competing against morning footy. Like I mentioned, we're going to win. 2 points for a correct round of 16 winner. So that's that first match. 4 points for correct quarterfinal winners. 6 points for correct semifinal winners. And 10 points if the tournament winner is correct. Oof. Morning footy has picked theirs in the morning, and after we pick ours, we'll finally be revealed what their picks were, and we're going to trash talk their picks a little bit here.
What do we win, though? Like, I need to know what our pot of gold is.
I've asked, and it is TBD, to be determined. So before it kicks off tomorrow, we need to decide, and we will reveal that.
I like it because that means they're negotiable.
Ah, okay. We will see.
Raise the stakes.
Yes, as we see their bracket, we're probably going to want something better as we see how they go here. So let's go ahead and start filling this out. So the first match here is Switzerland against Spain. And who have we decided is going through? We have decided Spain is going through. Why? Is this a talking point for you guys here?
Oh, actually, we started with this game and I felt like it was a very hard one to get a consensus on.
It was. We had to come back.
We did not come to quorum on this one per se, but it was a little bit of a split. I felt that Switzerland have a strong side. Spain's confidence has to be a little bit shaken by Japan. I don't know that I am going to put all my stock in this, but I've agreed to it nevertheless. So we move as a team.
I think the one thing that benefits Spain in this game against Switzerland, the Swiss team are going to attack them. They're going to get stretched out. They're going to have the ball more than Spain wanted to have the ball. Excuse me, than Japan wanted to have the ball. So Spain is going to have space in between the lines. It was a tough one, but we're going Spain, I guess. I was kind of on Switzerland's side.
So I think it was split 2-2, and we ended up picking Spain. Yeah. Darian, you and I were the decision makers there. So we went with Spain on that one, but they decided on other ones. We all had a little bit of a say and argument throughout all of these. The next one is Netherlands against South Africa, and we have picked the Netherlands for that. Is there anyone that was against that? I think we were in agreement.
We were in agreement.
So we'll move on to the next one. Japan against Norway. We picked Japan.
Yes. Unanimously.
Yeah. Unanimous pick for Japan there. Sweden against USA. This is one that we're going to have to get deeper into in the next segment. But we picked Sweden.
We did.
Not everyone, but
correct. I think
unanimous decision was Sweden was going through here. We're going to dive deeper into that one later in the show.
Okay,
so we don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
Unless you want to say something now, Darren. Go ahead. Get it in. Get it in.
I was riding with the U.S., but I'm here for the squad. We're good. We go together. We ride together. I'm with it.
We're riding and dying here, potentially, not or.
So basically, all I have to say to the social media people is to hold on until you hear explanation in the segment about that match, specifically the USA against Sweden.
Wait, hold it on. They're going like this right away.
Okay, let's move on to the next side of the group because there's so much to go through. Australia, Denmark. We have Australia going through. Is there any reason why we specifically want to point out besides the fact that Sam Kerr is probably back?
Even if Sam Kerr's not back, I feel very confident in this Australian squad after what they just showed against Canada. They whooped Canada. And they had the ball. They used Catley. They used Carpenter on the opposite side. I thought Haley Rasso had a phenomenal game. And even without Sam Kerr, now that they have Mary Fowler back, she has been so good at being the target for them. And I just feel like it's going to be too much in that game. And they're going to get a little boost being the host country.
I agree. And they have many goal scorers now. They've proven they're not just relying on Sam Kerr. Right. So I think that should give them a lot of confidence and make other teams fearful going into the next round.
What I like, too, is Caitlin Ford back on the wing.
Yes.
I thought it opened so much more up for her when she's not with Sam Kerr there centrally.
Yeah.
They've pushed her wide, and I think it just unlocks something different.
Yeah. I think Katrina Gorey is absolutely pivot point for anything the Australian team does. So it's been really nice to see her come back into the fold. The next one is France against Morocco. We had a hard time with this one. We were thinking, is this the upset? But we ended up deciding on France.
We went with France. I think that might actually be one of the more exciting matches up ahead in this round. Morocco are certainly not pushovers. We've seen that. Obviously, they have the boost of, knowing that they're through in this sort of debutante state now.
Nothing to lose.
And if you're Morocco, you're looking at France and saying, your goalkeeper looks a little suspect in some areas.
Right.
Some of those goals shouldn't have gone in against Panama, but France made it through, and here they are against the Moroccan squad who's really tactically very well put together.
Okay, on this next one, there was a lot of discussion and arguments between us. Let me tell you, the pre-production room was not,
that why you wore this?
Was not a happy place, okay?
I know I wore my Nigerian jersey last week. Dang,
England
We still got
against
green, yeah.
Nigeria. You guys can see there that we have picked Nigeria to advance. But there were definitely some arguments in the room.
I picked England, but you picked Nigeria.
I too chose Nigeria.
Yeah.
I just think they have something special there, and obviously with the way that the group stage had gone, I don't doubt we'll see some upsets in this round for sure. And I think that, Nigeria definitely have the moxie to get it done. England are certainly not going to hand it to them. They're going to be hammering and kind of ready to go because they, of course, have already started to sing It's Coming Home among their fan base because that's just what they do. Would love to see Nigeria pull it off.
Yeah, I got to ride with my Nigerian sisters. I think that they're going to do it, and they've proven that tactically they can execute. So I think coming into this, seeing that England scored so many goals in very many different ways, they're going to sit in and just keep England out and then attack on the counter, which we've seen England can be exposed to. So that's
they
what
win
my
if
thought
they
came
if they have a lower block, but not too. They need to be in the almost a mid block. They
Yeah,
can't
I
give
agree.
England too much respect and get too pinned back.
I agree.
Okay, so for the last one, that is Colombia against Jamaica. We have picked Jamaica in this one.
They haven't given up a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can
To
you not?
neither
been
Brazil
solid.
nor France.
And clearly we love Sadella Marley. So
Yes.
Yeah.
But that aside, they absolutely have their tactics working for them. They know what they're doing. Colombia have not been their strongest side. There's some questions as to Caicedo's health.
Yes,
I,
yeah.
I think that the way that things are playing out, as far as we see right now, I think Jamaica have a very solid chance. This won't be an upset at all. They'll take this one.
that would be so exciting. I mean, either way, both teams, we're rooting for both teams, but the Linda Caicedo potential out with, we saw her rolling her ankle in that last match. Could change things
You need
for
a
them.
shirt. We're rooting for both teams.
I hope everyone has a good time.
I hope everyone has a fun time and makes money. Let's move on to the next round. That's Spain against Netherlands. We have picked Netherlands there. Why did we pick Netherlands?
They are a historical strength, quite frankly. I have sort of identified that they aren't as strong as they were maybe in other cycles, but they're still formidable, and they're almost havers, I feel like I'll call them, come close, right? Just like Sweden, where, they're probably one of the more formidable left in the rest of these brackets.
So for the next one, we have Japan against Sweden, and we have Japan coming out of there. I mean, they have been incredibly dominant in the way that they've played. I have all the confidence in the world that they're winning this World Cup. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, front to back, I think they're the most cohesive team we've seen play. Executing game plan defensively, counterattack, different types of goals. They've just been a threat all around.
One of the stats that I said on Morning Footy that I had never said before was that in qualifying, they scored 53 goals and conceded 0. So
It's insane.
it's insane.
That's an insane
It's insane.
stat.
Wow.
Let's move on to the next one, where I think France is playing Jamaica. Look at me and my flags. No, that's not where we are.
Yeah, I had Australia. This is Australia, France. You skipped around, so we're
Sorry.
saying France is moving on, and I wanted Australia in this one. I do think that this is going to be if this ends up being the match, this is going to be one to.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild because I think both teams will give up goals, but there is going to be goals in this one. And Australia will be loud playing against a France squad, but I think I got outvoted in the France moves on category.
So then I think we have Nigeria against Jamaica in the next round. And we have Jamaica going through.
Yeah,
Jamaica going
the
through.
defense of Jamaica, I've just been really impressed what Lauren Donaldson has set into this squad. And going forward, they've proven that they do have other threats. That's not just Bunny Shaw, and now Bunny Shaw is back. So I feel like if they can get some goals in the first game, they're going to feel confident going to the next round.
So the Netherlands against Japan, that means they move on to the final.
This is our final.
Woo! And we have not agreed on a final, so that's what we're about to talk through. Yeah, who was it on that side that did not believe in Japan?
I said Les Bleus.
All right,
Oh,
talk me
both
through
did.
it. Talk us through why.
I think physically, the French will dominate. I just think their stature, how much more physical they are in the game. I think they're up to par technically as well. and their depth, I think, is different than Japan. So that's what I'm going to rock with. I'm going to go with some of my French friends, and I hope they get the dub.
Yeah, next time we're going to make you do that all in French because we know you can speak French. I'm going with France because I can't speak French, but I think that this squad will have seen Japan play a few games where they're going to tactically tweak some things. So by the time they get to the final, they're going to have a lot of tape on how Japan plays against certain styles, and that is going to prove effective for them to be able to implement in this final. And I'm saying France wins it all for the first time.
Wow. Japan would not be first-time winners, and we have
Right.
Japan.
No, yeah, we obviously, Japan have been contemporaries of the U.S. in sort of their dominance in a way. They have one World Cup under the belt. They have a second place finish, we'll call it. I feel like, I mean, you lost in a final, but they have a really solid team. I was a little bit surprised that they didn't include Mana Iwabuchi in this squad, only because this would have been her third consecutive World Cup, and she debuted at 16 years old. She's only 30, and they seem to be doing it just fine without her. So,
No, I think their style of play is so interesting. And you mentioned that, you know, they're going to be watching tape on Japan and be able to break through. I don't think so. I find that the Japanese style of play works against everyone. The way that they can keep the ball is so impressive, but they also don't need the ball. They're very good on the counterattack. They don't need to have the ball to be lethal. I think they had like 20-something% of possession in one of the games when they won.
Yeah.
For me, that was massive.
Who's marking Wendy Renard on a corner kick, though? It's over. It's over.
Then
I need a raise.
How many corner kicks have they given up?
Yeah,
I'm just
We'll
saying.
see.
Okay, so we have to come to a consensus here, guys, and pick one because Morning Footy picked one. Is anybody gonna?
I could go. The problem here is I could
Give
go
up here.
either way, and I can see both arguments.
Come on over.
Oof. Darian, you can't just go with your friends.
I'm not. I had.
We have to
I
pick
had
one, guys. We
reasoning.
got to go to break. We got to
I'm
pick
sticking
one.
with the French.
France.
Okay, we can't stay 2-2, guys.
Fine, first timers, France. Allez,
Let it be known that I did not agree,
Okay.
but it is 3-1, so we're going to go ahead and go with France for our bracket. This is Morning Footy.
Whoa. England, U.S. final?
That's what my initial bracket looked like, actually. But then you've seen the teams play, and things changed, especially with the U.S.
Ooh.
Did they
But they have England winning.
Yeah.
I like
Did they
Spain
let you
beats
guys start
Netherlands.
drinking on
Yeah,
Morning Footy
me too.
before you
No,
did this?
no.
Ooh, England versus Australia. They've got some interesting matchups here. Spain, U.S. U.S. hasn't been good against Spain as of late, so
It's going to be very
interesting.
interesting. We're going to have to talk about what the winner gets here, because now that we've seen their brackets, I feel like we feel pretty confident about ours, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's try to get through, figure that out so that on Monday's episode, we'll tell you guys what is on the line here. We're going to be talking the U.S.'s match against Sweden when we come back. Don't go anywhere.